Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Today, I have an amazing recipe. This is an Instant Pot recipe. These are braised beef tacos. I know sometimes I've gotten home from work and I'm like, I could really go for a shredded beef taco. There's just no time. You know, I'm not going to spend hours braising this meat. Enter the Instant Pot. Everyone knows kind of what an Instant Pot is, but in case you don't, it's a multi-cooker. So it's a pressure cooker, it's a slow cooker, it's a rice cooker. It's all these kind of combined cookers in one. I have a ton of experience with these. I've helped write cookbooks for a lot of these Instant Pot products. It works fantastic as a pressure cooker. It's a great way to have a one-pot meal for something that might take hours, only take minutes. First things first, let's gather our ingredients. You're gonna need about 1.5 to 2 pounds of beef chuck. Cut it up into 1.5 inch pieces. If it comes in stew meat and you can get it, that's fine as well. It's already cut up. That's what I got here. You're also gonna need some tortillas. I prefer corn. Maria and Ricardo's makes a corn flour combo that are fantastic. I don't have those here. You're gonna need a beer. You're gonna need some ancho chili powder, a little Aleppo. That's optional. I'll leave it optional. Some tomato paste. You're going to need some ground cumin, dried oregano, and you're going to need some ground coriander. We're also going to be doing a nice topping, so I'm going to include those ingredients as well. You're going to need some garlic. You're going to need some radishes, jicama. Now, if jicama, which starts with a J, isn't available, you can just do more radishes. I'm going to pickle the radishes. I'm going to keep this relatively raw. I'm going to shred it, toss it with a little bit of lime juice and lime zest. Keep it bright, fresh, and crunchy. So you're obviously going to need a lime. You're going to need some cilantro. And last but not least, you are going to need vinegar. Distilled white vinegar, red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. These all work. I'm going to be using about a half cup of vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar to pickle these radishes. Now that we've gathered our ingredients, let's get started. I got 5 cloves of garlic here, 3 big ones, 5 smaller ones. I'm just going to mince this up. This is pretty much the only prep other than trimming up the meat if you have to. The rest is pretty much just scoop, and then we'll get into our kind of condiment pickle toppings. What we're going to do here, and this you can make your own. You can do it however you want. I'm going to be doing 3 tablespoons of chili all day. I'm going to do 1 of ancho chili powder. I'm going to do 2 of Aleppo chili. For the tomato paste, I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons as well. I love it in the tube. In the can, it always goes bad. Oops. All right, I'm going to put my garlic in. Let's now get to our oregano, cumin, and coriander. Don't be afraid of the spice, my friends. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of coriander. I'm going to do a 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. And for my oregano, I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons. I'm going to do about a teaspoon kosher salt. So if you're using table salt, cut that in half. Do about a 1/2 teaspoon. I'll put a little bit more in here. Now this will go on the meat, so I'm not actually going to season the meat. I'm also going to need some veg oil. Olive oil is fine here. Extra virgin olive oil, whatever you want. I'm going to do a couple tablespoons so I can bloom these spices. Maybe 2.5 tablespoons here. So now that I got everything in here, I'm going to turn my Instant Pot on. So I'm going to push the saute button right here. And I'm going to select high. I'm just going to set a timer for 15 minutes. Should be on high. All right, so saute button, turn it on high. You might have to push the saute button a couple more times, and that'll take it up. You can see here, I have less, normal, and then more. I've got it up to more. That's the high saute function. I'm going to stir it around. And we're just going to cook it until they're bloomed. And this tomato paste isn't raw. That's going to take 3 to 5 minutes. Starting to heat up. I'm starting to get a little bit of fragrance. We're not there yet. So it takes a few minutes to heat up, and then we're going to be blooming this. All right. So we can see I got a little bit of sizzle here. So we're good. We're blooming this. So we're just going to need a couple more minutes. We got it hot. I don't want it to burn. Now it's time for my beer. So you want a cup of a full body lager. Let's get it in there. Put a cup in, you can drink the rest. It wasn't a cup yet. There we go. Cup of beer. Then let's whisk it around. Let's get everything kind of incorporated here. Oh, this smells amazing. I'm going to turn off the saute function by pushing cancel. So now that we got our braising liquid in there, we're going to get our beef in. Again, cut it into 1 to 1.5 inch pieces. Trim them up. All right, perfect. Look at that. It looks phenomenal. We're going to lock the lid in place, set it to pressure. We're going to seal the vent. We're going to cook it for 30 minutes. seal. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna press pressure cook. I'm gonna set it to 30 minutes and I'm gonna set pressure level to high pressure. Pressure cook, high pressure, 30 minutes, and it should click on right now. Perfect. So now it's gonna take some time to come up to pressure. And in that meanwhile, we are going to make our toppings. We're gonna be doing some pickled radish. I'm gonna be doing some jicama with a little cilantro, some lime zest, lime juice. See, I got my lime, got my vinegar. I'm gonna do half cup white vinegar. Any vinegar will do. White wine, red wine, it just changes the color. And I'm gonna do a tablespoon of sugar. I'm just gonna bring that up to a boil and dissolve the sugar in it. But I got about 3 radishes here. I'm just gonna trim up. I'm gonna cut it up not too thin, maybe 1/8 of an inch. You want it hearty enough to give you texture. All right, my sugar is dissolved. My vinegar's come up to boil. So I'm just gonna carefully pour this over my radishes, trying not to spill. Now I'm gonna let it sit, let those radishes kind of cook through a little bit and soften. Now onto our jicama. If you don't know what jicama is, it's like a root tuber. I love it raw. It's super crunchy and fresh, but you absolutely have to peel it. You can cook it. There we go. All right, I clicked on 30-minute timer starting now. So get a super small one. You probably don't need more than 1/4 of it for this recipe, depending on how many people you're going to be serving. Probably half. The rest is great. Put it on a salad, pickle it up. It's fantastic. Eat it raw, slice it up like chips, fry it, do whatever you want. I love it. So I'm just going to shred it into nice long shreds. So I'm doing zest from 1 lime, and I'm going to do all the juice from 1 lime as well. Let's get some chopped cilantro here. What's a taco without cilantro? You got some coriander in there. It'll pair nicely. That lemon liminess. All right, we got our cilantro. Now we're just waiting on our beef. All right, our Instant Pot just finished. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pop it. Good thing I wasn't standing there. I would have gotten quite the facial. I'm turning this off, hitting cancel on everything. We're gonna let it fully release. It will be locked. There's a little thing that prevents you from opening it until the pressure has released enough. So I can't turn it. Once the pressure has released enough, I can pop it. All right, I heard it click. Let's pop it open. Oh yeah, let's look at this beef. Now it's gonna be a little fatty. It's giving off a lot of fat. If you wanna scoop that fat out, you can. I'm not going to. Whatever you want. You do you. So I got my beef, smells fantastic. I'm just gonna take my potato masher. I'm not really looking to do more than just shred it. And this is perfect. It's nice and gentle. And I'm just gonna actually just gently twist it around and just kind of shred the meat this way. And at the same time, I'm gonna turn on the hot saute setting. And I'm just gonna saute it for about 5 minutes. And I'm hoping to cook off a little bit of this liquid, concentrate that flavor down. At the end of the day, you need enough liquid in there so you don't get a scorch or a burn warning and you don't have any burntness going on. You probably won't use all this liquid. That's okay. You want this super flavorful meat. That's why we went so high on those spices. Anything that you missed with the masher, you can always just shred. 2 forks is great. Oh, it just falls apart. It's just so tender. I'm gonna come over to the stovetop. I'm gonna turn my burner on. I'm just gonna toast up some of my tortillas. Now, I recommend not doing it over an open flame, especially inside with the gas and whatever. You can grill them up, heat them up on a comal or just any sort of cast iron this. Heat them up in your toaster oven. Just get them warm. They should be warm, but I wanna get a little bit of char on these, so I'm gonna be doing it over my open flame. Look at that. We got some nice char. All right, I'm just gonna set that aside here and build our taco. I'm just gonna take some of this shredded meat in this delicious sauce, get it in my taco. So the pickled radish here, they're a little flimsy, but they feel like they still have good texture. Cutting them 1/8 of an inch thick is ideal. Beautiful. Let's get a little jicama here. And just a little bit of cilantro. All right, here we go. Oh my God, so much flavor there. Oh, here comes the spice. I was worried that it was a little bit over salted. That first bite came through a little bit salty, but it wasn't. All of a sudden, that juicy beef just hit my tongue, took over, and I went through just a range of flavors. I got the more subtle ones first, which is nice. I got the garlic, I got the coriander, I got the cumin. Those came through. A little bit of the oregano right there. And then all of a sudden, the crunch from the radish and that cooling liminess the jicama brought in just kind of like helped cool everything and keep it all nice. And then bam, I just got hit with that spicy heat right at the end. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for tuning in. That was Instant Pot Braised Beef Tacos. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, YouTube. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to see you next time. Take care.